part as a social media influencer. Clearly,
yes,
you have your own income.
Yes.
People will ask and wonder, and I'll ask, was this love worth over $1 million if you have to pay it?
Honestly, no.
Back to Recenter with Rose, where your inner peace becomes your personal power. It's your girl Rose, obviously, and right now we're going to talk about a topic of conversation that I was dying to do. It's Brenay. Well, I want to call her Brenay so bad. I don't know why, but it's Brenay. Brenay and what she had to do for a man. At this point, I don't even know if it's love or anything else, but the topic is so interesting to me that I wanted to make a video about it. We already know that this channel is all about mindset and what we can learn from other people, what we can learn from ourselves. Attached to this channel, I also have a podcast that is called Ginger Lemon or Lemon Ginger Lemon. I don't even know the name of my own podcast, but that's more centered into mindset and my own wisdom and advice to keep you going and to motivate you. But this part of the channel is just what we can learn from other people and their experiences. And I have a few TikTok compilation that we're going to review together, and I'll have my commentary to back them up. So
Brenay case, let me break it down for y'all. Basically, Brenay married her crush's cousin to get closer to her crush. Her crush name is Tim. Her husband name was Devin. Akira was Tim's wife. Okay, y'all got that? They all grew up together. They went to high school together. Now, Brenay also has a twin sister named Corinne, and she also plays a role in this situation. Track it back to high school. Basically, Brenay dated Tim back when they were really, really young. Mind y'all, Tim was Brenay's first love. Tim's family never liked Brenay, so Tim ended up breaking it off for Brenay. Now, circling back to the twin sister Corinne. Corinne and Brenay fell out and had a lot of beef in high school because Corinne basically slept with Tim after Brenay and Tim broke up. Basically, Brenay was a 304. And so Tim ended up putting his cousin Devin on Brenay because Brenay was going and Devin was a virgin and he wanted to lose his V. Before everyone graduated, Akira and Tim ended up getting together, and Akira was basically Tim's new girlfriend. Granted, Brenay, Devin, they don't hang out with Akira. They don't really know Akira like that. She's just the new girlfriend. Tim went off to play college football on a scholarship while Akira basically held the relationship down. Not too long after, Akira ends up getting pregnant and they end up getting married in 2018. Akira dropped out of school to be a wife, a mother, while Tim pursued his dreams of being an NFL player. Akira was working 2 jobs trying to support the family financially. Fast forward to 2021, Devin and Brenay ends up getting married. This is how I met Devin and Brenay because they were a TikTok couple, actually. So mind y'all, Brenay and Devin is this God-fearing married couple. They're very Christian, go to church, listen to music, do couples content, all of that. So randomly, they started hanging out with Tim and Akira, and they started doing like group activities, double dates, etc. Mind you, Brenay was known to be Akira and Tim's kids' aunt. Brenay was Auntie Brenay and Devin was Uncle Devin. Brenay started speculating that her sister Corinne started sneaking around with Tim again, and this is when Akira was pregnant with her second child. Things started getting weird because every time they would link up to do couple stuff, Brenay would be wearing inappropriate clothes, like her booty cheeks would be hanging out, her titties, she would have no bra on, like things were just very inappropriate, and she would be extremely friendly with Tim. So this is where everything started getting speculated. Akira would constantly check Brenay, like, hey girl, like, can you put a bra on? Or tell her about like her shorts being too short, and Brenay basically would see no issue with it. And Akira's main thing was the fact that her children are around. Like, there's kids around and you have your titties just out and exposed and your booty hanging out of your shorts. Like, you're not supposed to be dressed like that around children. So fast forward, one day, Brenay basically comes up with this big lie saying that Devin is being domestic towards her and that she doesn't feel comfortable living with Devin and etc. etc. So Brenay basically begs Akira and Tim for a place to stay. And Tim is like, yeah, like we might as well let her stay. Like she said she's having problems at home in her marriage. And so Akira went along with it, and Akira said that things got extremely weird the moment she moved into their home. Akira started finding random teeth around the house. She said that basically she would go to sleep early some nights and she'll go to sleep at like 8 p.m., wake back up at 11 p.m. and notice Tim's not in the bed, and she'll go out and check and see where he's at, and he would be in the den with the door closed, meaning they were being actual in their home while Akira was asleep, and this was proven. So Akira started confronting Tim, her husband, about what was going on. Tim gaslit her and said, oh, it's nothing going on. She was known as a 304 in her high school, saying that she's sloppy, she nasty, she dirty, she lazy, this, that, and the third. That's how she even got with Devin, like basically gaslit the fuck out of her. And she said she believed him because at the time it was like, anything my husband says, I'm going to believe. That's the type of woman she was. Granted, when Brenay was staying with them, she would fix Tim's plate first, would sit with Tim, would literally, everything's Tim. And then also, she was asked on many occasions to leave their home. She said no. She told Akira, no, Tim wants me here. And so Akira said she felt like she had no one to speak to about this because she would tell her husband would gaslight her, and she just felt like something sneaky was going on behind her back, but she just could not prove it. So she started getting a whole bunch of piercings. And so one day she goes around her family and they're like, why do you have so many piercings? And then she just busts out and just tells everything. And so her grandmother was like, oh no, I'll be over there. Because one thing about it, Akira is not confrontational. She said she's not an aggressor and that this is not something that she does. So the grandmother goes over to Akira's house. The grandmother said the house was so trashed where Brenay was staying at. She was staying in the den. They said that it was pop bottles, chip bottles. It was just so filthy, disgusting, and nasty. That grandmother asked Brenay, didn't even ask, told Brenay, you need to leave. And Brenay told her, no, Tim wants me here. So she ended up getting into an argument with her grandmother and ends up pushing her grandmother. Brenay eventually goes home and tells her husband, Devin, that she's in love with Tim and that she wants to be with Tim. And Devin basically says, well, if that's what you want to do, prove it. Invite him over here. And so she did exactly that and slept with Tim in their home, y'all. In their home. Devin ended up divorcing her after that. Akira ends up finding out because Devin ends up hitting Akira up and telling Akira what he knew. And so she ended up getting her piece on the whole entire situation. And that's why we're here today, y'all. And now y'all just gonna have to follow from here on out because I told y'all the entire backstory. Sorry if I butchered some parts, but this is literally how shit went down step by step. If I didn't get every little detail on point, I'm very sorry, but this is just the gist of everything.
First heard the story, I thought that it was going to be a simple love triangle, but the way that everything is unfolding, it makes it seem like it's deeper than just a simple love triangle, because Brenay is involved, Akira is involved, Tim is involved, and Corinne is involved. Now Corinne is like somebody that is not mentioned a lot, but it was suspected that she was sleeping with Tim too. So it's so messy. Like just by that, you can already tell that Tim is a serial cheater, okay? He likes to cheat. And Bernice, you can already tell when it comes to Bernice. I did it again. My gosh, why do I want to call this girl Bernice when it's Brenay? Brenay, you can already tell that Brenay after the breakup, because she didn't break up with Tim, okay? Tim broke up with her. And when that happens, sometimes you get stuck on somebody, even if life continues for you. I don't think she fully digested the breakup because it wasn't a mutual breakup. And sometimes some breakups are not mutual, but you do have to do the work to disconnect from that person. Versus disconnecting from Tim, they became friends. So she was always in his orbit, in his world, right? Probably for the longest time, planning and plotting to have that man back, like it's, I did that, right? Kind of mentality, like he still wants me around. And what Tim did wrong is he didn't put boundaries up. And I don't think he wanted to. I think he liked the idea that there was another woman that was that wanted him. I think Tim is that kind of man that he thrives on the idea that there's multiple girls after him. And Brenay 100% plotted over the years. She knew what she was doing. She knew that she had assets that Tim may enjoy. And the fact that she was wearing booty short around a married man, like, it's too much. Even I feel uncomfortable. Like, I have married friends, and sometimes we go somewhere and I'm like, oh shit, I didn't realize that you were gonna bring your partner, whatever, it doesn't matter. And then I'm wearing something that may not be too showy, but for me, I'm still uncomfortable. I'm like, it's not the place or the time. It's not the place or the time for me to wear something like that. I should change. I feel uncomfortable. So I don't know how she felt comfortable doing that unless she knew exactly what she was doing, right? And ladies, I'm gonna use this platform to say, trust your instinct. Akira didn't want Brenay. I will get it by the end of the video. I promise. Akira did not want Brenay to stay, but Tim convinced her that is going to be okay. Like, we're just gonna help a friend out. Trust yourself, right? I had a partner, and it wasn't even a girl, it was another guy. We were living together, and he's like, oh, my friend, a guy friend, needs a place to stay. I said, absolutely not. Because I felt that friend was a bad influence on my partner at the time. Second, I knew damn well that friend was talking shit about me. Why would I bring you in my environment where I'm at my most vulnerable? Absolutely not. Right? So think of it like that. There's no harm of you saying no even to a friend. Trust and believe. You're an adult. All of you guys are adults, right? If you find yourself in a sticky situation, I'm so sorry. We can help you a different way. I can purchase you a hotel room. We can figure it out. But you staying in my home, unless it's like 3 in the morning and we're in a not a safe environment and you're staying the night, but come morning, you're leaving. You're not staying longer than that. Absolutely leaving. And especially if I know you used to date my man. Absolutely not. That's not gonna happen. That's not going to happen 100%. And if my man is like, oh, like I don't think, if my man tries to convince me that that's not right, I would look at you like, okay, so if I invite an ex to stay at a home, that would be okay? And if you say yes, or if you say no, why is it not okay for me, but okay for you? I don't care if you guys are friends. It doesn't matter. If it wasn't going to be okay for me, it's not going to be okay for you, right? And if you say it is okay for you, then I'll look at you sideways. I would look at you like, what the heck is wrong with you? So with that said, the internet got so mad at Brenay for what happened when when the story blew out, right? And let's review what the internet was saying, because a lot of people were feeling the same way that I'm gonna show you guys. And I'm going to ask if that's fair or not.
Of this girl saying that I don't think Brenay understands how many people genuinely liked her before she got with Tim. And y'all, I've been saying this shit forever. I don't really think Brenay understood how she was perceived on the internet. And that lack of understanding is why she feels like she's being dogpiled on. And I remember it was a video that was like, hey, y'all talk about Brenay so bad, but y'all ain't saying nothing about De'Ara. And it was a video that Brenay had reposted, right? But what Brenay doesn't understand is that you were perceived as a Christian influencer. Your commitment to God is why you are being held to a higher standard, because your commitment to God is the reason why a lot of people followed you. And I think that is lost on her. Like for me, the only videos I ever made about Brenay is when I feel like she was playing in God's face, because the way she is twisting the Bible to justify adultery is crazy. And she jumps in and out of the secular world a little too much for me. First of all, I'm a Christian woman. I believe in the Bible. But then when you want to sleep with somebody else's husband, they're legally separated. That's all that matters. Where in the Bible does it say legally separated is divorce? You're talking about earthly things, but you're a Christian. You're not legally separated in the eyes of the Lord. I think when all of this is said and done, she's going to look at her platform and hate the people that follow her now. Because the people who follow her now do not have the love and respect for Jesus that she claims that she has. Because her new supporters do not believe in the foundation of marriage biblically. Because you cannot be a believer in the Lord and understand the value of marriage and still support Brenay.
Okay, so I understand why the internet felt that way for Brenay. Now let's review the reason why Brenay, when again, I did what I was supposed to do. I looked at all her content on TikTok, and she has about 2 million followers. Good for her. She did a very good job at that. Now, you have to understand what made Brenay go viral and blew up her platform is the video that she did with Get Ready. It was a Get Ready video. Get ready video to go to church, right? I'm going to church. Get ready with me. And that blew up, and a lot of Christian people gravitated towards her, right? And what people do on the internet, when somebody does one content and it blows up, people tend to actually assume that that's that person's personality. Because when I'm looking at her content, it's not like, oh, I'm Christian and blah, blah, blah. It's a girl with like very long nails. I'll have a picture right there. Very long nails. She is showing you her day-to-day life, very basic things. She has her goodies. She's dancing and shaking them. You can already tell that she's doing that purposely, because she knows that some people are going to gravitate towards that. Some guys are going to be lusting over that. And that's why she's doing it. She has booty shorts on. She's always had those booty shorts on, shaking everything. I'm like, where in here is she selling you that she is Christian? She may believe in God, but doesn't mean that she is a practicing Christian, right? And I'm not saying because you're Christian, you're not able to show your goodies, because some people still do that. What I'm saying, and some people don't do that, what I'm saying is that she never targeted her audience, or she didn't build her platform on the back that I'm Christian. It just happened that that one video blew up. That's it. So I don't think it's fair to Brenay to say that we had a higher expectation for you. I mean, she never sold you a lie. She just said that I'm a girl that do believe in God. A lot of people do. But she never said that I'm not secular, I'm not in this world. She never, ever, ever did that preaching thing. So is that That's why I wanted to say that the internet sometimes puts label on people that they should never put. You can be entertained by something and say, okay, I like that, I want to see more of her, she's charismatic. She would never be able to build that if she wasn't charismatic. She's charismatic, she's able to pull people in and people stay. Not a lot of people can do that. Not a lot of people can do that. So kudos to her for that, Brenay. If I called her Brenay's, you guys are gonna have fun to just replay that in your head. I don't know why I'm like that right now. So now let's review what Brenay, because she went to court, they went to court, and Akira knew her laws and knew what she could do for a payback. I mean, Akira was so smart. So smart that she was able to outsmart Brenay. Brenay thought that she was going to have the last laugh, but Akira is like, no ma'am, no, I'm going to. So let's listen, because after everything blew up, Brenay was invited to different platform to talk about it, to review her side of the story. And let's review how she justified it on Dr.
Week.
Okay.
During that week, I'm not a drinker, I'm not an alcoholic, I did drink. I was under the influence, and I took Tim's phone and I created a video of myself talking gibberish in the video. That was one. It was inappropriate, absolutely.
What were you saying?
If I can recall, I couldn't wait to be Mrs. Montague, which I am now. It was a lot of like, oh, I love you, these type of videos. That was what I said in the video.
About
Tim.
Akira's husband?
Yes, about Tim.
Well, you were saying in her
Right now.
Correct.
The fact that you have the balls to say that about somebody's husband, okay? I can't wait to be Mrs. Montague, which I am now. You can hear that she didn't have to say which I am now. That's that little jab, like, you know, I got it. I got the man. What you gonna do about that? That's when you know she was plotting. That's exactly when you know she was plotting to get him back. And probably since high school. And I'm wondering if her eating habit, because in high school she didn't look like this, her thickness. I wonder if she overate because of her emotional connection, or sometimes you overeat because you're depressed, sometimes you overeat because you're stuck. And I'm wondering if that's what happened to her. But notice that she purposely recorded herself also on the phone. Keep in mind that Tim, Akira, Devon, and Brenay were all friends, right? And I think what happened here is Akira, because she said that her and Akira used to talk. I think Akira forgot that, or didn't put enough weight on the fact that Brenay used to date Tim, and she opened up to Brenay. And she didn't record that for Tim. She recorded that because she knew that Akira will see it. That's exactly what she did. She knew Akira would see it. She knew that Akira may snoop on, look at Tim's phone, because Tim has a history of cheating. Now, he said that he never gets with other women, but it was more of emotional cheating that he used to do. He used to emotionally cheat more than anything. So I'm guessing Akira got used at being snoopy and looking around and making sure that she knew what was going on before she confronted Tim. And she probably confided in Brenay, thinking, like, you know, this is a safe space. But it wasn't. And Brenay used that to her own advantage. Look at that. Look at that. Let's go.
Correct. As I stated, I'm not ashamed. It was inappropriate, and I stated to that in court. It was very inappropriate. That was one of the videos. Okay. The second video was I was in the bathroom filming myself brushing my teeth. Tim came behind me, and I did a little dance, and that was the end of that video. So again, yes, 2 inappropriate videos.
Were you dressed?
Yes, I was dressed. I was fully clothed.
Okay.
So those are the 2 videos.
Checking.
Yes, those are the 2 videos that were inappropriate, and I am proud enough to walk in my truth about those, and they were inappropriate, yes. But that does not mean that I slept with him, which I didn't. I didn't sleep with him. That doesn't mean that I had an affair with him. Those were just inappropriate videos that was created in which his ex-wife knew about those videos before the lawsuit came out.
Okay. But you had sex with him before?
No.
I thought y'all were
that's
in high school.
Okay, so yes, in high school, yes. We had a relationship in high school. And yes, we were intimate in high school. Okay. So then we closed that chapter and remained friends. And then we both remarried other people, married, whatever. And that's how our relationship, we were high school sweethearts.
Just y'all in high school?
Yes, it is. That's kind of cringy. Those are old pictures, but yes, that is us in high school. Loved him. We were madly in love with each other, but it just didn't work out. We were young. So then we went on to be with other people, and yeah, so we were intimate back then. Okay. But not during the course of their...
Mind that this interview happened after the verdict and after the court. And in court, they were able to prove that no, you were intimate with him while you were in the house. And the fact that she's there lying like that, knowing that people already know the story in and out, I mean that either you're so comfortable on lying or you believe the story. Well, you may have to believe the story. She believes the story so much that this was an innocent love story, that he was with somebody that he wasn't happy with, and then she was just there, and then they connected without her kind of instigating it, right? I mean, F my friend, right? F my ex, not even friend. Okay, let's remove the friendship out of it. F my ex that is married to somebody else, right, comes behind me. I'm going to turn around and I'm going to say, what the heck are you doing? But I'm not going to yell because I'm in the house. I'm just going to say, what the heck are you doing? Go away. Like, this is over. I'm not going to back it up. Hey, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that unless I want something to happen, right? I mean, we've all been young. You know how to get a man to understand a few things, okay? I do that. I won't do that now, but you know how to get a man to, hey, we've done it. I'm not gonna lie. So she knew by doing that, he's gonna get an idea in his head. And that idea is, I'm available. I want you. Are we gonna do that or not? That's literally what happens. If you're gonna back it up and be like, hey, that's all you're doing. So for her to say, like, that's all that happened, that's enough. That is enough. You don't need more than that to be guilty. But she is so comfortable at lying, and people are seeing that. Is she gonna lose her subscriber count? No, because she's entertaining. People like that. People like messiness. Messiness is never going to not make you famous. People like it until you do something where they're like, I can't stand by you anymore. But her life story is entertaining. Let's go. Now, she did say something else on Dr. Phil that was very interesting to me about Akira. And you remember when I was talking about their connection, She's alluding to that and that snippet. So let's watch it.
End of the message, she said, it was a test and y'all failed miserably. That's what she referring to. There was a conversation had between her and I, and also Tim. We all had a conversation about what's our next moves. She informed me, she told me that she wanted me to be with Tim because she knew that her marriage was over and they were done. The divorce was happening. And she said, I trust you, Brenay, and I want you to be with Tim because I know that my children will be safe with you because I trust you with my children. I trust that you will take care of Tim because I could not take care of him. His heart, his spiritually, emotionally, physically, all of these things. We've had conversations about that.
Wow, that's very magnanimous.
Yeah.
Please, if you don't know what magnanimous, I can't even say that without even looking at it. Let me find the word. If you don't know what a word means, there's no shame and no harm in saying, sorry, what do you mean by that? It will save you some embarrassing moment because low-key, Dr. Phil read her with that word, right? And it's not a word that people use often, so you kind of have to educate yourself on the word and the meaning of the word. But a lot of people don't want to feel foolish for not knowing what a word is. There's so many words in this world, and the English word dictionary, there's a lot more words, and other languages, to be honest with you guys have a lot of words. So there's no shame of saying, oh, I don't know what you mean by that. Can you clarify a bit more by that word? I've never used that word. Versus agreeing with what Dr. Phil said. So magnanimous means generous or forgiving, especially towards a rival or less powerful person. So so Dr. Phil read her with that, literally saying, oh my goodness, you thought of her as a rival. Could not take care of that man. I don't know why a lot of mistresses say that about the other woman or the wife, right? I think Fantasia, bless her soul, I love her as a singer, she said exactly that's the same thing when she stole her husband away from his wife. It's always the same thing. If you did what you were supposed to do, there's no way that he would have left you, right? And frankly, Akira dodged a bullet when it came to Tim. I would have sent Tim away a long time ago. I'd be like, yo, bless, have fun. Because he's not a catch, right? He has record upon record. He carries a poop with him, which made me think, I'm so sorry, there's a lot of successful TikTok girls and black girls that finds themselves in a very toxic relationship with their partner. And let's be honest. And I don't want Brenay to be put in a situation where she may not be with us because of how volatile. They all carry their own pew pew with them. It's just, I don't like that. I really don't like that about the US. I'm Canadian. I don't like that about the US, that you guys can just walk into a Walmart and have it on you like that. Like he did right there. I'm gonna blur it out a bit because I can't have it on on YouTube, but that won't do. But let's be honest for a minute. I don't think that Tim would be with Brenay if she wasn't TikTok famous. Because think about it. They've been in each other's life for such a long time. right? Tim broke up with her, and he says that it's because of family, blah, blah, blah. They didn't like Brenay. Tim broke up with her, moved on with Akira, had children with her, and then Brenay was always in the background. He had time to say after the first two children, like, I don't want to be with you, Akira. I love Brenay, and I'm just going to be with her, right? Or he had a chance to cheat. He could have cheated with Brenay a long time ago. Could have. However, Brenay did something for herself. She got on TikTok. She built a follower, okay? And she has brand deal. She has a lifestyle. She can take care of Tim in a way, and Brenay might be right. She can take care of Tim in a way that Akira couldn't, right? Akira had expectation. You had to provide for our kids. You have this. Brenay just wants you to be there, right? She's gonna cook for you. She's gonna clean for you. She's gonna make content about her cleaning and cooking for you, right? And you don't have to work because she's the provider. It's a good life for him. But notice how he waited until she was able to build a life for herself. And he's going to enjoy the fruit of her labor. Is it actually worth it? Is it actually worth it, girls, that you work so hard to make something of yourself and have a man just coast? Some guys will be like, yeah, it's worth it because you guys do it to us all the time. Yes, gender norm exists. However, there's expectation, right? The expectation is that if a guy is a provider, the woman is a home taker. She takes care of the house, she cleans, she makes sure that when you get home, your meal is cooked, the house is clean. She might need to help you entertain other people. There's expectation. You can't just sit there. There are some girls out there that their husband is like, you should sit there and look pretty. I don't want you to do anything. Go to the gym, get massages, and pretty much a doll. You guys can feel but most men will have those expectations. But when it comes to Tim and Brenay, the dynamic is different. Brenay is like, I'm gonna do all of this for you. You just have to relax and be there as my man. I mean, I would sign up for that. I would sign up for that in a heartbeat. Like, I mean, out of all of this, Tim is the one that is winning. And Akira, because Akira found a new love. But Brenay is not winning. And this is what happens when your heart is not pure. When you've been planning for such a long time and your heart is not pure, life has a way of making sure that you get what you want, but it's not what you expected it to be. Listen. So now let's review. Before I talk about another facet, right, of this, envy towards other women, because technically speaking, the way that Brenay was talking about Akira, it seemed like there was a little bit of there was a little bit of jealousy and envy and aha, I got one on you kind of moment. And it's possible that Brenay blamed Akira for taking Tim away from her, because it's also possible that in her mind, there's no way Tim would have left her if it wasn't for Akira. And there's a series of action that tells us that Brenay might be stuck in Akira for all the wrong reason, jealousy and envy. So let's look at that.
This is an episode of Fatal Attraction. And what if it was never about the man, but it was always about Akira? What if Brenay wants to be Akira? Okay, because Akira gave Brenay the man, now she has Tim, and now Brenay is in her new man's likes, Jordan's likes, and then she says, oh, well, Jordan used to flirt with me back in the day. Girl, you just want the attention, the love, and the respect that Akira gets from these people. It's never about the men. It's always about Akira. Y'all stay with me now. Stay with me because I'm preaching, okay? Because at the end of the day, y'all, we have seen Fatal Attractions, For My Man, Snapped episodes, all of these things where it's always a friend that comes around that may seem like your best friend, but they're actually envious of everything that you do and of the light that you possess and the way that people treat you. So it's never about the person. It's always about you. So y'all, what do y'all think about this? Is this episode of Fatal Attraction a Lifetime movie or what? Something? Or do y'all think Brenay is just being friendly, liking Akira's new man's pictures just because? I don't know. Y'all leave it in the comments down below.
And asked the judge, can she get granted permission to talk about Akira's kids on the internet? Like, for what? For what? That's how you know Brenay just be wanting to get under Akira's skin, because why do you have to talk about her kids on the internet? For what? Those aren't even your kids. Mind y'all, she has a PPO order on her and she cannot speak on Akira's kids. She can't speak on Akira, none of that. She's lucky that she's even allowed to be around the kids. But to want to talk about the children on the internet, though, like, what is it that you want to say so bad? It's given, I want to prove a point so bad. Like, out of all the problems she's facing right now, the only thing she's concerned about is the fact that she can't speak about the kids on the internet. It's really something twisted about her. Because what is the obsession? What's the obsession over being a stepmom? I don't get it. And so Brenay really sat up there and asked the judge, could she get granted permission to talk? Brenay's bank statements have been dropped, and it states that she makes $25,000 a month, y'all. She paying for Tim's gym membership is on there, hella lawyer fees. Mind y'all, she did not even have a lawyer, so I don't know why she got these lawyer fees. Not to mention, she hired a lawyer that specializes in DUIs/DWIs. So she been drinking under the influence. And not to mention, Brenay stated herself that she doesn't drive anymore because she has Tim. So Tim is the one who drives her around. So it sounds like Tim got a long record with the police, because first of all, you got fraud. Second of all, you got DUI. Third of all, you got bringing a weapon into the courthouse. Then you already on probation for contempt of court. This man can't stay out of trouble. Part about her bank statements being released is the fact that she spends the most money on food. Don't spend on nothing else but food. But we already knew this. Don't make no sense.
You want to be back there so bad.
Of course.
Stop. Y'all cannot wait to eat.
Headline, 90% of them, honestly, were her face with the number.
Yeah. I mean, it's not over.
What do you mean by
that's all
that?
I can say. It's still a long process. It's a lot of things that are going to take place and a lot of things that are going on right now. So it's not over. We still have a lot of faith, and we're just going to move forward.
Do you feel that you could have handled things differently in ending the marriage you were in more clearly, or is there any self-reflection here for you?
I mean, always.
Yeah.
I can take accountability for the things that I've done, especially, I made that clear in court. I wasn't the best husband. I know that. However, the things that are being said, things, it's kind of hard to really get into without saying too much.
Because this is still ongoing as you see it.
Right, correct.
You've worked hard as a social media influencer. Clearly,
Yes.
you have your own income.
Yes.
People will ask and wonder, and I'll ask, was this love worth over $1 million if you have to pay it?
Honestly, no. It's not worth over $1 million, But he's worth it, is what I can say. He's
So
worth it.
you're saying, listen, he's worth it.
Yes.
How has this impacted because you still love him.
Yeah.
You're married.
Yeah.
Has it impacted your relationship?
I can honestly say no. If anything, it brought us stronger together, closer together, because we know that the outside hate us, but we know that we love each other. So honestly, I can say, of course, there's times where it's kind of rocky, where it's like, is this true? Is this true? Like, it's so many lies that you start to believe them yourself. That's how bad it's been. But another thing is I can say that we have great communication, all of those things. And I feel like that we make sure that we keep that in our marriage this go round.
How has this affected your business? Because you're on social media.
A lot.
Really?
A lot.
You've lost money?
I can honestly say yes. With all of this and me painted out to be this person, I can honestly say it's like, I don't know if I want this person to represent me, or I don't know if I want this person to promote my products and things like that. So it's kind of been hard for me.
What's the next step for you?
I would say just trusting God. Trusting God wherever he leads